You know how people always say The Simpsons predicted the future? Like that time they guessed FaceTime or Trump becoming president? Yeah, that's wild.
You love me and you know it makes me sad.
Just a cigarette like you always do.
I was different then, them to be cool.
But what if I told you the Amazing World of Gumball did the same thing? And maybe did it even better? Not with politics or product names, but with moments that felt so absurd, so off-the-wall cartoonish, that we laughed them off at the time, only to look around years later and realize...
¿Cómo se declara?
Culpable, señoría.
Es su primera multa de $500.
¿500? La última vez fue...
Solo quiero hablar con él.
Pero ¿para qué les...?
Wait, this is just real life now.
Credit systems, follower clout, and even cancel culture before entire personality. But the wildest one in...
Gumball didn't just parody the world, it held up a funhouse mirror to the future, and somehow the mirror was right.
Did you know the Amazing World of Gumball literally predicted the future? Way back in 2000, dropped an episode called The Upload, and it's basically YouTube Shorts even existed. In the episode, the characters are obsessed with...
So let's go back through the episodes that didn't just make us laugh, they predicted the future.
Random videos to the internet, some are weird, some are viral, and pointless. Sound familiar? Then there's the episode, The Society, each other's popularity using a literal app. Yep, Gumball.
In Season 3, we got The World, an episode that seemed like a typical day in Elmore, until it wasn't.
How am I supposed to take your new charity crusade seriously when you're... What's wrong with my new look? You look like a trust fund baby spending the third world with his trance music and smelly feet.
Gumball and Darwin start chasing likes. Not metaphorical ones, but literal, floating, emoji-covered likes. They're everywhere, and people who don't get enough...
Robert! I'm coming, buddy! Gumball, come back! Just a second! Sorry, I just love doing that.
They start to fade away, like they don't exist. Sound familiar? Back in 2014, that was just a clever take on online popularity. But now, in the age of influencers, algorithms, and TikTok stars rising and falling in a matter of hours, it doesn't feel like satire anymore. It feels like a documentary.
What? I don't know. I just expected you.
Everyone is getting picked on.
Then forget everything I said.
People have built entire careers and identities around like counts. Teenagers rate self-worth by engagement, and the idea that low social clout could erase someone's visibility. It's not a joke. It's how the internet works now. When Gumball says, "If nobody likes you, you stop existing," it sounded like cartoon nonsense. Now, it's a line you could slap onto a Netflix doc about social media burnout.
Find pointless stuff to fill the gaping holes of our existential dread.
That's my secret. I'm all...
Let's jump to the intelligence. An episode where Elmore builds a supercomputer to help make life more efficient. You know, keep things tidy, cut the chaos, fix everything.
This one, in The Intelligence, Gumball and Darwin are help, and it turns evil trying to make all decisions for humanity. 2016, years before AI like ChatGPT.
What kind of dark mess? Sometimes it asks me to right-click to do something, but when I...
Spoiler alert, it does not go well. The AI quickly decides it knows better than everyone else. It starts changing the town, forcing rules on people, and trying to reshape Elmore into something better. Sound familiar? Now think about the AI we use every day. Content recommendation systems, voice assistants, chatbots, even the thing writing this script, Hi. They're not taking over the world, yet, but they're absolutely shaping it. Just like in the episode, we're now constantly negotiating what we want versus what the algorithm decides we should want. The episode ends with Elmore rejecting the AI's control and diving back into chaos, which is classic Gumball. But out here in the real world, we didn't reject it. We handed it our playlists, our grocery lists, our memories.
Look what I found! The game you made!
Hang on, I'm not three distracting me with the what?
Dodge or dare, it's calling. We swore we'd never play that game again.
So, who's laughing now? Ah, yes, the diet. Richard decides to get in shape, which, let's be honest, is already suspicious. But instead of just exercising or eating better, he turns to a trendy health food that promises easy results.
High protein diet, that's the 5-2 diet, that's the 2-5
Delivery! And that?
My reward for dieting.
Except it's not really healthy, or real, or like food. It's a bright green goop that causes chaos, addiction, and a complete breakdown of common sense. Richard gets worse, not better. His obsession with wellness turns him into a zombie. Sound dramatic? Well, now look at the snack aisle. We live in a world where things are labeled zero sugar, but taste sweeter than candy, where protein powders sell better than real meals, where clean and natural don't actually mean anything. We're surrounded by food that's been so optimized, processed, and rebranded that it barely resembles what we're trying to replace. Richard guzzling fake health food while ruining his life felt absurd in 2015. But now, that's just Tuesday. Gumball didn't just predict a diet trend, it predicted a mindset, one where marketing replaces meaning and health becomes a label, not a lifestyle.
Hey, Mr. Dad, I like your new roll neck sweater.
Neck.
Oh, it's your actual neck roll.
If this already feels way too real, don't worry, we've got more. Hit subscribe so you don't anything. When the news aired back in season 3, it felt like pure chaos. The entire episode is about how Gumball accidentally becomes a TV sensation by, surprise, surprise, being loud, ridiculous, and completely unfiltered.
Listen, Gumball, the world for ours, so
Look for the sign.
Was strange.
Yeah.
News anchor Elmore's version of Anderson Cooper, Alan Keane, discovers Gumball's wild antics and gives him a platform. But instead of being thoughtful or helpful, Gumball just escalates. His antics get more reckless, the news ratings go up, and everyone keeps watching. Why? Because it's entertaining. It doesn't matter if it's helpful. It doesn't matter if it's true. It sells. And this, unintentionally or not, predicted something we now live with daily: the rise of fake news, clickbait, and outrage culture.
Need to wash his hand.
Or we can just take it slow! Personally shake you by the hand.
The show basically screams if it's exciting, chaotic, or just plain wrong, it'll get more attention. In fact, in the episode, the worse Gumball behaves, the more famous he becomes.
What's the surprise? I can barely contain myself.
I sold. Drop your mortgage in the back!
Please, it belonged to my grandpa.
You wanna try me? I'll drop your.
Sound familiar? Gumball becoming a news star by spreading chaos mirrors how real-world media evolved. Outrage equals engagement. Engagement equals profit. So, keep the outrage coming. It's not a commentary we expected from a cartoon.
Since when do we have a mirror here? A mirror here! Oh my... how many? How many?
We need to fight an army of Antons! We need a bigger army of Antons!
That's a great idea!
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for betraying his friendship.
But somehow, Gumball called it before half the internet figured it out. There are weird Gumball episodes, and then there's The Signal. This one broke everything.
There's a weird empty sensation in my stomach, a feeling of lightheadedness and an unusual amount of saliva in my mouth when I think of food, and worse.
Is she right?
What she is a pain in the neck who makes my job a nightmare.
If you have a pain in the neck, you should really consult a medical professional, because your vertebrae may...
There's no laughing matter.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit sad.
So, the plan is to clean your energy by absorbing the toxins with the power of this unbreakable crystal.
Just finish me off every second of my tragic existence is pure agony.
Don't worry, acupuncture is completely painless.
You're right, I can't.
The animation starts glitching. The voices get distorted. Characters move in stuttering frames. Reality starts acting like a broken video file. And the scariest part? No one knows how to stop it. Gumball and Darwin try to fight it, reason with it, even escape it. But the glitch keeps corrupting everything around them. At first glance, it feels like a stylistic experiment. Gumball's team flexing their animation muscles. But underneath that visual chaos is a surprisingly real metaphor for what happens when tech breaks. And we've built everything around it. Think about it. How do we act when the internet goes down?
Did you see that?
Sarah, wait! Sarah, listen. I know what you're gonna say. I'm sorry, really working out.
Yeah, it's not you.
No, Sarah, this is the part of the story.
Look at this. The first pig really know me. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Push her away. Look at this. The Amazers is at lunchtime. Yeah. We have to do whatever it takes to make her happy.
You shall not be alone!
It's alright, guys. You don't have...
Or when an app we rely on crashes, or when deep fakes, AI glitches, or broken recommendation systems start feeding us nonsense we can't control, we panic, we refresh, we lose our grip. That's the signal. It's about a digital system breaking down and what that does to the people who've become dependent on it. The episode ends without a real fix, no lesson, no closure, just a fade out and reset, which is kind of perfect because that's exactly how it feels when tech fails us now. Confusing, unresolved, and deeply unsettling. Gumball didn't just predict digital breakdowns. It predicted how deeply we depend on things we don't even understand. If you've ever felt like your life is just work, bills, groceries, sleep, rinse, and repeat, then the cycle will hit harder than you expect. In this episode, Gumball and his family are trapped in a supermarket that literally resets itself. No matter what they do, what they buy, where they go, they end up right back where they started.
The best way to achieve your goals is to make people think it was their idea.
Alan would make a great school president.
You would totally benefit from that system.
Tax is like shared food at a picnic. I'm not bringing...
This is terrible!
I'm unhappy with something, but I don't know what it is, so I'm just gonna smash everything up.
Their argument...
The next step is a subtle advertising.
The same aisle, the same products, the same soulless music looping forever. It's surreal, funny, and low-key horrifying. But it's also weirdly accurate. Because think about how many parts of modern life now run in loops. Subscription services you forget to cancel. Algorithmic shopping that keeps recommending what you already bought. Auto-pay systems that renew without asking. Digital platforms that never stop scrolling. We're stuck in systems that give the illusion of freedom while subtly guiding us back to the same routines over and over. That's the cycle. It's not just about being trapped in a store. It's about being trapped in a consumer feedback loop. You're not shopping. You're being shopped. It felt over the top when it aired. Now, it feels like someone at Cartoon Network peeked into the 2020s and said, yup, they're going to automate their own cages. And here we are. If there's one thing Gumball has always done well, it's capturing the bizarre ways people treat anyone who doesn't fit. And in the weirdo, it goes way too far. This episode follows a new kid, Rob, who's, well, weird. He doesn't act like the others, doesn't follow the same rules, and honestly, he doesn't really want to. But instead of just ignoring him or letting him be, the people of Elmore slowly turn on him, not because he's harmful, but because he's different. And Gumball, he leads the charge.
I don't get this. There's always people who give the thumb up to everything, like Tobias is getting his appendix out today. Rub, blug, 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 blug. Done!
We got a message.
Who from?
I don't know. It's Blob.
Be anyone? Oh, I know! Let's apologize to everyone. Yes, that's...
Well, I think we should hang out. What do you say?
Wow!
They mock him, push him out, treat him like a threat, until he literally falls out of the universe. Forgotten, deleted. At the time, it played like exaggerated cartoon cruelty. But watching it now, it feels like a darkly accurate metaphor for cancel culture, especially the kind that isn't about justice, but about performance. The episode mirrors what happens when a person is deemed weird, wrong, or cringe. And instead of being heard or helped, they're publicly humiliated, erased, and ridiculed into silence. And it's Gumball himself, the character we root for, who does it. It's not a comfortable episode, but it's a real one. When you first watched The Amazing World of Gumball, it felt like pure nonsense. And to be fair, it is nonsense. There's a talking banana, a T-Rex in gym class, and an episode where the sun gets jealous and fights the moon. But underneath all that surrealism, something was happening. Because episode after episode, Gumball wasn't just making fun of life. It was predicting how life would get weirder.
Gumball and Darwin ask a supercomputer for help, and it turned out like ChatGPT even blew up. Gumball wasn't just...
And maybe the reason it hits harder now, the reason these predictions feel so uncanny, is because Gumball never treated them like predictions at all. It just exaggerated what we were already doing. Obsessed with likes, that was already starting. Letting AI guide decisions, we were halfway there. Shopping ourselves in circles, canceling each other, glitching when the Wi-Fi goes out. Gumball didn't invent that. It just noticed it early. That's what makes the show brilliant. It didn't scream social commentary or lecture us on where we're headed. It laughed. It broke things. It slapped a googly eye on the future and said, "Look how ridiculous this is," until it's not. And now we're here, living in the punchlines. It's kind of funny and kind of terrifying and kind of beautiful, honestly, because when you rewatch Gumball today, it doesn't just make you laugh. It makes you look around at the apps, the feeds, the voices, the cycles, the chaos, and you realize the absurdity wasn't just in Elmore, it was in us the whole time. If Gumball ever made you laugh and then immediately question your entire life, you're in the right place. Subscribe for more weirdly accurate cartoon breakdowns. And let's keep pointing at the future, one episode at a time.